right, this is Messy Brings Chaos, and we're your hosts. I'm Molly.
I'm Bree.
And I'm Kelly,
Welcome to the Circle, babes.
where we share everything.
So I think I'm going to kick us off this week. You know how last time I was bragging about not having to block anyone on my new phone or my new phone number?
Yeah.
Well, that changed very quickly. So I was, as I am single, so last night I was on the apps just swiping to my heart's content. Matched with a guy a little outside my normal type. I'm like, why not? Give him a chance. Shouldn't have done that. He got my number. It got weird. Now he's blocked.
Her.
Because we don't play any games when it comes to dating around here. We date with intention. And he was definitely not having the same intentions as me. So that's how I swiped into some messiness, and that's what I get for swiping outside my type. But also leads us into a great topic of what is our type. So who would like to start?
I can start.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I don't necessarily have a type physically. I mean, there's characteristics that every woman would prefer, but I can confidently say that I've had experience with different types of people, whether that's white, black, short, fat, tall, etc.
Yeah.
But I used to have a type. I used to love white men. But
Is there a reason why you don't anymore?
no,
Okay.
no, I just stepped out of my comfort zone
Okay.
and just, experienced new things. And I don't think I really have a type when it comes to ethnicity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there when? Okay. How do I want to phrase this question? And this is for either one of you. How did you, or when did you know that you had a type? When did you identify that? How did you know? Versus you who doesn't really have a type at all. How, I don't know. What attracts you to them? Since you don't have a type, what's your attraction? Right.
Well, I will say the first time I realized I had a type was when my mother pointed it out to me. She was like, you're dating a lot of people that look really similar and they're all treating you very similar. Maybe it's time we switch that up and see how that works out for us. And that's what hit me. I think I was sophomore year of college, just went through a really bad breakup. She was like, why don't we expand our horizons? And so that's what I'm trying to do these days. But from that first story, we can tell that's not going that well.
So from what your mom, sorry, I know you're about to ask you. So since, because this is bringing a really good question. Since your mom said stay or get out of that comfort zone, are you still seeking that same thing that she said to stay away from? Or have you tried to be more like what your mom said and try to expand?
So shout out to my therapist, Amanda. We worked a lot together trying to get out of that type because while yes, it was physical attributes that were similar, it was also emotional unavailability and I was a fixer. So since my mom really brought that up to me, but also since starting my therapy journey, I've seen a big shift in my type, what I go for, but also after hanging out with you guys, I've been introduced to some people and some types that I would not have been introduced to before, especially if I'd never moved here. So it's a little bit of everything kind of playing together to build the new type.
Yeah.
Per se, for what I'm looking for now.
Yeah. That's fair. I like that. For me, and this might be a cultural thing. I'm not sure, but I think it's a cultural thing and/or my mom's experience. My mom was bullied for being dark skinned, and so when she had kids, she typically went for fair skinned men, and I think she kind of put that into me. But I was always attracted to white men from a younger age in middle school and high school. And then, you grow up and you get to know different people, and then that attracts you to them as well. So I think it's just, experience and learning from that.
Hey, yeah, cool. I learn a little something new every day. I swear. That's what's like. Just gonna ask these questions and see how we go. Okay, well, I guess it's much up. I kind of led a little bit into this when we were doing the bingo card in the last podcast. And so a little bit of a backstory. My first ever boyfriend in high school, 9th grade, so long time ago. Well, was a white guy, very, very country. And it was, I mean, he was fine. Like he wasn't a bad guy. But I like quickly realized how immature he was. Like he was a year older than me, but like completely immature. Like, but that was like that first love. And so, I feel like you learn to like, it's all about infatuation. It's not really love. Like you're literally in the 9th grade, grow up kind of situation. And I didn't date again until, goodness, I guess way on in years. But I think junior year, I started to realize like, not really attracted to white guys. My interest, I don't think it happened because of skin color. Like I think I fell really hard for this one guy that went to high school with me because of his personality, like ultimately with the personality, because he was friends with literally everyone. Like he was a quarterback, but also like in drama and theater, like did plays, like he hung out with.
So he did have one quick day. He wasn't just the athlete. He was like a well-rounded Renaissance man.
Literally, like he was the male version of me. Like we had a lot of classes together. We hung out a lot. Like he even did bowling. Like I literally would go with him after school sometimes to the bowling alley and watch him bowl for like hours. He had his own bowling ball like in his car.
So like, okay, shout out to those kids who had their own bowling balls because mine had my monogram on it.
Okay. But since him, I think I haven't really strayed away from that. So yes, he is black, and so I haven't really dated outside of that race since. And I don't really like. Obviously, it's on my bingo card to go on a date with a white guy, but I just there's this like presence that black men carry themselves with that is just like confident, and I just appreciate that from them. Like there's just something that ambience of a man that has that like is very attractive, and I like that confidence. And yeah, I don't know that I would go back. I think that quote is very real in my life. Can't stand it's true. If you don't know the quote, sorry, go look it up. I'm not gonna put it here on the podcast. But I would say for me, it's true. Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of what you've stayed with.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a pattern in my life, at least, is I have not dated a lot of black men.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had a discussion about that, and it to me sometimes feels like I'm dating a brother.
Oh.
So that's also kind of,
because you have an older brother, right?
yeah. So 2 older brothers. So
Yeah.
you kind of know.
You compare a little bit.
Yeah, like
Okay.
that sounds like my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe that's why.
It could be.
Could be.
I don't know. Is there anything when you're thinking back to like past guys that have tried to talk to you, whether it be the dating apps, whether it be in person, like was there anything that they did that automatically like attracted you to them, or like was an immediate like red flag, stay away from me, I don't want anything to do with you, immediate block? Like
if they start a conversation with me and it's just snap ? Or if they just automatically send me their Snapchat without even exchanging a hello, I will never talk to you. You're going to be blocked. You're going to be unmatched. It's not going to happen. That's not what I want. Have it clear on my profile. long-term monogamy, life partner, all of that. Like, don't come at me with the snap question mark or DTF or a you up at 3 a.m. because that don't do it for me anymore.
And it's crazy because we're also older, and it's like, you're 30, sir. Why do you want my Snapchat? Why do you have a Snapchat?
Why do you have a receding hairline and it says looking for short term?
Scare me.
It's a mess.
I will say, since I am a little bit older than both of you guys, like my age range is a little bit higher than you, and I also, if I had gotten like a Snapchat name, I'd absolutely not like. But I will say, like, the older I have not gotten that. Like, my age range. We should probably talk about that too. What are our age ranges? But like, I think for me, like, I'm 31. I don't know that I would like want to try to date someone any maybe under the age of 29. Like, I think that would probably be like the stopping point for me. And then for me, I'm all the way up to 40. Like, I'm okay with an older guy, especially since I'm talking about like, I'm okay with like a guy having kids. Like, that's cool with me. So yeah, if someone is sending me their Snapchat name and they are 40 years old, I think there's a problem with that. I haven't had a Snapchat in over 2 years probably at this point. Like, I am good on that. Like, Instagram and Facebook are kind of my only thing. I have a TikTok literally to make Instagram reels. I do not post them on TikTok. So that's my life. So I think that would also be an immediate, like, no for me. Like, that's super.
And I will say my age range, I go for men who are, I am 27. I'll be turning 28 this year. So my minimum is going to be 26 or 27, depending, like, I'm 27 now, so it'll be 26. But when I'm 27 or 28, it'll be 27. So, but I go up for 10 years. I'm getting this from guys who are all the way up to 37, 38 years old that are still, they have kids. That's fine, but you're also just sending me your snap. That's not how I'm going to get to know you. And like I said, you're an adult. Like, talk to me like an adult and we'll see how things go.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm also the same. I go for like 10 years and up. And then sometimes the apps also show me like people who are 2 years younger. I would go 2 years younger, just depending. Red flags that I'm like immediately no is if they have kids. I'm someone who I feel like we have to have the same things when we're coming into the relationship. So like have a career, have your own job, have your own place, have your responsibilities in check. I don't have kids, so I don't want someone with kids, because also a little bit about me, I'm a little princess, a little selfish. I want the priority to be on me. And so that's just a deal breaker for me. Another one would be if they immediately go into sex or sexualizing my body.
Yes.
I prefer a man to notice who I am, like my aura, rather than my body. So like, don't be like, damn girl, that ass. Like, I know I have an ass. Like, we can all see I have an ass. You're like, damn, you look smart. You're trying to go to law school. That's amazing.
Like, your degrees are impressive. It's something like that.
Do not go into, oh, I want you, like, no, that doesn't do it for me.
It's like the text I got yesterday. The guy talking about my hair color. He was almost fetishizing my hair color, and I don't want that. I don't dye my hair anymore. Like, this is what it is. Like, don't make it weird. Don't make it weird about my body. Don't make it weird about how short I am. I've had guys harp on the fact that I'm 5'4" and I'm so tiny. Like, I get it. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm always going to be this height. I've been this height since 8th grade.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird.
Yeah.
It's a turnoff.
For sure.
So another red flag, I think, brings me to the story that I shared with you guys a couple weeks ago about the guy. So a little quick story of a guy that, one, I think jumped to conclusion, but also just that assumption, like, assumptions are made, and that's just infuriating when people make assumptions is you don't know what I'm thinking. And so don't get mad when I'm like, well, you can read my mind. And then when you do try to read my mind and it's wrong, like, let's just cut it out. Like, let's just cut out trying to read each other's minds. It just doesn't work. But I had matched with someone. We had talked before. It fizzled out. That was over a year ago. I completely forgotten why we'd all fizzled out anyways. We started talking again. Things were okay. And then he dropped this bomb that was like, hey, don't have my license right now. We'll have it for the next 6 months. I was like, oh, okay. Like, cool. So my follow-up question's like, okay, so what are you going to be able to do to see me for the next 6 months? And his quick response to that was very aggressive. It was very much like, never mind, you do you. This is not what I want. Peace. I didn't think that my question was really out of the box.
And it wasn't.
No, like I was literally just
curious.
Yeah, I was literally to say like, like I'm okay with this, but like, what is your expectation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is your expectation like me coming to pick you up? Like, I don't know you. I've never met you before. I'm not gonna go pick you up and take you on these dates. Like, my question led to like Ubers. Like, would your plan to be to Uber to our dates? Like, how would you be able to get around? Are you going to drive illegally? Like, what is it? And so that we never even got to that because he had jumped to the conclusion that, and he said, well, I'm sick of women trying to expect the men to do everything and that it should be a team thing. It should be a partnership. I'm all about partnership. I'm completely all about partnership. And I think that is what a relationship is. I think relationship is 50-50 going in and being partners with this. And so I think that obviously that ended very quickly. There's no more discussion happening between him and I, but like that aggressiveness right at the beginning, that assumption, to scratch that, like come in asking questions, but if you're going to come in hot and ready like that, and
if you're going to be defensive about it, it's for me.
Well, that was good for that. You recognize that and that he did that because that's probably his personality.
True.
And you don't want that type of person in your life.
No.
To me, it was very much like he was trying to get you to drive him places.
Yeah.
You're a girl, man.
I'm going to be his Uber.
Exactly. And I think that's a problem in dating. Like, I think now men don't know how to be men.
Men don't know how to date.
And they don't know how to date.
They don't know how to date. That's why the first like green flag a man can do for me, plan a date. It's literally on my profile. The most attractive thing you can do, in my opinion. Plan a date. It doesn't have to be spectacular. Spend in $200. Let's go on a walk at the Greenway. Maybe go to the farmer's market, grab a coffee, some lunch. Just walk around. Just spend time with me. And that comes into like my love languages. Like quality time is one of my love languages. If you can't respect that and meet me in the middle with that, it's a no from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, it's very similar. Like, I'm not asking you to spend money on me. Like, cool. Bringing up love languages like gifts is number 5 for me. So like, I don't expect that. You want to do it, cool. But I'm definitely more on like acts of service, quality time. Like, do things for me, set something up. We can literally go on a walk. Like, I want to get, back better in health. So like, you want to go work out? Cool, let's go to the gym. I don't care. Like, because I need to go get my workout in too. We can do it together. I don't care. We can do this. And we don't even have to work out together.
I was shit. Are you wanting? Do you just want the agility, the leap together?
Yes. We can just go together, do our workouts. I might do a fitness class. You might go lift. Cool. Or if we do it together, cool. I don't care. We're going to be lifting different things. So like, as long as you're patient with me and we can trade out weights, that's fine. But like, it is literally just a concept of you putting something together, or it's the thought of like asking. Don't assume things. Don't like just ask. Like, it's not. I don't think it's science. It's not hard science. I think we both say like, this is so difficult. Why are they being so difficult? We say that about each other. Like both sexes says that. So I think it comes down to like, just communicate what you want. Like that is so be transparent at the very beginning. Be so transparent. You get into a Tinder, you get into Hinge, Bumble, whatever you're using. the first conversation should be, what do you want?
What do you want?
What are you looking for?
Honest about what you want. If you wanna hook up, you want this to be one time, you really want to actually speak something in a relationship, cool, but don't lie to me.
Don't lie to me.
Exactly.
So because that is when our title comes into play. That is when a messiness happens. Like, you're not honest from the very beginning. Messiness occurs,
And then it brings chaos with it.
Yeah.
period. So I've had that happen in my life, and so honesty is key.
Honesty. So let's go into like what type of man or what type of person would you never date, never consider?
I don't think I have one that I would never consider. Like, if I find them attractive and we have a good conversation, then what does it matter? Like, I don't have never could. Go ahead.
Would you date somebody in prison?
Do I know them beforehand? Or is it like, oh, I couldn't do that.
Okay.
I couldn't do that. There are like limits and things like that because I do try to be a very upstanding member of society. And no hate to anyone in prison or anything like that. I like what's mine to be with me, and I don't like that idea.
It'd be hard to like create that relationship.
And like I said, if we know each other before and something were to happen and we were together when it happened, depending on what the charges are, maybe I see it through. But I'm not going to go ride a prisoner. That's going to draw a line for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that kind of popped up. I know we watch our shows, and it's like, let me ask this question just to see, just to kind of hear through in the mind.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to take into consideration, like, if they have kids, are they an absentee father? Are they involved? Because I'm not going to be, like Bria said before, I'm not going to be with a deadbeat. If you have kids, if you have prior commitments, take care of that. And I'll support you in that. But when you start lacking, my interest is going to go right down with it.
I understand.
Yeah.
I like it.
What about you, Brie?
Okay. For me, I cannot date a bum. I cannot date someone
What's a bum?
Okay.
Yeah, what is your definition of bum?
A bum to me is someone who I don't know how to put this. How do I put this nicely?
Maybe who doesn't support themselves, who keep up with themselves, like are relying on other people to maintain their way of life.
Absolutely. Yes. Because for my personality, I like nice things. One of my major love language is gift giving. I'm a giver in that way. So I want someone who can support that.
Yeah.
Reciprocity, I think that's the word.
So I want to be on the receiving end of that. And that's absolutely fine.
And so I think someone who like doesn't have drive, like they only work as a McDonald's worker.
They only work the bare minimum.
The bare minimum person, I can't do that because I also have drive, have goals. I want them to do that. I don't want them to rely on me. That's also a big fear of mine. Like when I get rich, because that's going to happen, I don't want anyone to want me for that or try to take my money away.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Can't date a mom. Can't do it.
I mean, those are two good ones. I don't know. Like, I guess mine is more like emotionally unstable, or they have commitment issues. I dated someone for 2.5 years. We went through quite a bit for college, and I was at that point willing to compromise what I wanted. I had basically talked myself into not wanting to get married because he didn't want to get married. And so because he didn't want to get married, I was like, you know what? Cool. Like, I don't have to get married. I'm happy in this. And realized very quickly after everything ended, really, truly crashed and burned, that I was content in it. I wasn't, especially toward the end, I was not happy.
You're content.
I was very content. I was in a routine. We had went through COVID together. We had moved in, got a dog, got a house, like all the things. So like I was happy with the things we had. Loved my dog. Loved the house that we were in. Loved our location. Like I didn't need anything else. I didn't think I needed anything else. And then, I saw my two best friends get engaged. After our breakup, got to go to their wedding and was like, no, I want this. Like, why was I being silly to be
So quickly ready to get that part of you.
And so when I think back to that relationship, I'm grateful that it ended, even though I didn't want it to at the time. And he ended up having to be the one to end it because he knew I never would, because I was willing to do whatever for that man. And so he ended up breaking my heart into two at the time. And then through therapy, through, really being very prayerful about it, like it came to the point where I was like, oh, you did me a favor. Like, one, we got money because we sold that house. But two, it got me to Raleigh. Like, because I moved, I knew once we broke up, it was time to go. Like, I wanted to be closer to family, wanted to get into a better spot. So, like, coming here, being in better headspace, like, I never want to go back to that again. So, if a man tells me I'm afraid of commitment, I don't want to get married, or if they've been married before and they tell me they don't want to get married again, I'm good. Like, I don't want to get back into the place that I was at. Like, I'm good on that. I wish you the best of luck, but like, I want to get married. So if you know that, it's the same thing with kids too. Like, if you are adamant about I want to have my own kids, well, I don't know that I'm going to change my mind. And so I don't want you going into this and then getting your hopes up for me to change my mind, because it may not. Like, I think there's parts of me that's like, I don't know that will. Like, and so I don't want you to feel like, oh, I can change your mind. Like, I know we sometimes look at guys too, we're like, oh, well, we could, no, yeah, we're at that, we got to stop. As women, we have to stop thinking we can change, because they're the only reason they're going to change is if they want to.
They want to.
Like, we can't do anything about that. And that's the same thing for us. Like, they can make us change our mind.
Right. So when someone tells you who they are, believe them.
No, literally believe them. Like, yeah, I think that about sums it up.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, I think that was great for this week. A little bit of messiness, getting to know us just a little bit better. If you stuck around this long, we really do appreciate you and the support. We do have a newly launched Instagram page. It's the Messy Moves Brings Chaos Instagram. You can find it in the show notes of this podcast. We would love to have you over there. And just remember, keep it messy, babes.
Until next time.